Yo, what's going on? And welcome to some Yu-Gi-Oh! Master Duel. Now, if you've watched the channel in the past, you know that I've played Duel Links quite a bit. I still play it on and off. Um, but other than Legacy of the Duelist, which was their kind of like story-based game, I haven't played the full card game in a really long time. So I was really excited when Master Duel was coming out that I would get to try all the new cards, new archetypes, new support for archetypes I'd played before, get into some more link summoning and stuff because I didn't really do that much link summoning and I didn't really get how it works. So then all of a sudden Master Duel came out and it was kind of like they announced it. They were like, "Hey, Master Duel's coming out," and then the next day it was out. And so I immediately downloaded it and started playing a little bit. I went through the solo mode on my own and I got some gems and stuff and started to build some decks. So here we are, and I am going to, I think, play a little bit of ranked. We'll do some daily ranked stuff because now that I've finished the solo mode, really the only thing there is what? Okay, well, that's unfortunate. Okay, but really the only thing there is to do now is like play 2 solo matches every day or destroy some cards in ranked or duel in ranked once. So I think I'm going to try and do these challenges every day, and that'll be probably about all I do until there's more to actually do in the game, because since the ranked season reset a few days ago, there's nothing to do except climb back to the highest rank, right? So last season, I climbed up to gold really quick, which there was only like a week and a half to do so. And I didn't really feel like dueling enough to get all the way to platinum, but I climbed up to gold really quick, and I made a pretty competitive deck. So far, it seems like the best deck in the game is Zodiac Tri-Brigade. So that's what I started making a little bit. It's obviously not perfect, but I'll go ahead and show you what I have. And this is what we'll use. I have some essence stuff for whatever the heck it's called to craft cards, and I'm kind of waiting to decide what I actually want to craft because I think a lot of my cards are pretty decent and my deck's good enough at the moment, so we can make it a little bit better, but I don't want to go overboard. Now you can see my Tri-Brigade deck. It's got a lot of the basic Tri-Brigade cards that you're going to make and be able to make easily because they're only rares and commons. So Fractal, Kit, Karis, Nerval, and then we got a few Zodiacs. I just happened to pull a Thoroughblade, so I put him in. He's one of the better ones. And then as far as Zodiacs go, we got just the basic Zodiac XYZs that you can craft. And so that is so we can make Zeus, right? Now, there's some obvious staples that people have decided for this game, like Ash Blossom. I haven't made Max C yet, but that one's definitely on my list. And then Called from the Grave. Now, for a deck like this, I would obviously recommend making these because they're probably going to be used in every deck. But there's a few extra deck cards that kind of like enable you to make different plays than you would normally make. One of them is Zeus. With your Zodiacs, you can then make Zeus, and then Zeus can help you win games where maybe your Tri-Brigade combos got negated or something. And then the other two are Appaloosa, because she is pretty easy to make turn one as long as you have either a Tenki or a Fractal in your hand. You can easily make an Appaloosa, and she's kind of your best play turn one because she can negate monster effects. And if that comes up, we'll talk about it when we actually do it. When I crafted her, I actually got the royal finish one, so I was pretty happy with that. And then the other one is access code. Access code's really your only way to make a monster that has above 5,000 attack, and he's just really good in general and used in a lot of different decks. So I would definitely recommend those three as kind of just like extra deck staples that enable you to make better plays with your turn, especially turn one where you don't have a lot to do besides just like set up a board. Appaloosa can help you negate their plays on the next turn. Access code's really good for going for lethal. Zeus is kind of like everything went wrong, but you have a Zodiac, you can make Zeus. And then we just got the normal Tri-Brigade cards like Shureg over here, Bear Brum, Fractal. This guy's pretty good. You can craft him, and he helps you make access code. Along with, you can also make access code with the Rhino dude. I think he's a rhino. I don't know. He's the Rugal, the silver shell or whatever. He looks kind of like a rhino. But anyways, the rest of the deck is kind of just filled out with pretty good cards that are easy to obtain, like Raigeki you get from the story mode, Monster Reborn from story mode. I just happen to pull this Hey Trunade. You'd probably rather want a Harpy's Feather Duster, but I haven't made that yet. So there's that. You get this from one of the packs for free. Well, not for free, but one of the bundles you definitely want to buy because you get packs at a discounted amount. So Lightning Storm can be good. Tenki, you kind of want 3 Tenki for this deck just because it lets you search Fractal, which is really important. And then other stuff, Mystical Space Typhoon, easy to craft. Forbidden Chalice, easy to craft. I have my 2 Called by the Graves. Torrential Tribute, easy to craft. Can be pretty good if you don't have like an ideal hand. Lost Wind can be pretty good at defending yourself. Revolt, just kind of like a really good Tri-Brigade card that we'll use. And then Solemn Judgment, another one of the bundle cards. Obviously, Ash Blossom is the 3rd bundle card, and you'll see that I have all of them right now. But anyways, let's get into our daily ranked duel. And you can kind of let me know what you want to see out of these. The reason I'm only going to play a little bit is so that like I can kind of extend my climb through ranked over the entire month. Because right now you can see I'm already Silver 2 again. And I've been like one more match we're Silver 1, so we'll be Gold here shortly. And with it only asking me to play like 1 ranked match a day, yesterday it actually asked me to play 2 ranked matches a day. So I did that, but we're gonna get through ranked quite quickly. Maybe it'll be more difficult in Platinum as we fight some better decks. But that's where we're at. Let me know what you want to see. Obviously, I can't make a whole bunch of stuff because I'm not spending any money on this game at the moment. So I'm just trying to work with what I've got. So I made one of the better decks. I like to go first. It kind of depends on what your deck is if you want to go first or second. I feel like most decks want to go first. And again, I've just been learning regular Yu-Gi-Oh! Pretty much with this game coming out. So I'm not that experienced and I might make some misplays and stuff, but I'll play the best that I can. Here, I think we want Fractal. And we actually use this card. We see he has nothing to use in response to it, so that means he probably doesn't have an Ash Blossom. We already have Kit in our hand. I think we still want to discard a Kit or send a Kit to the graveyard. Because if we have more in our graveyard here, so we do Fractal to send Kit, then Kit can send Nerval, and then Nerval can search. Here, since we already have a Kit in our hand, I think we just search. We could search Karis, actually, because we have some extra cards. Karis, usually I don't search very often, because Karis is kind of the card you want to draw into, because he's another extra special summon. But I like to use the Kit here. Normally I would search Kit if I didn't already have Kit in my hand. And then if you don't know how Tri-Brigades work, you'll kind of see what's going on here. We're going to go for Appaloosa turn 1, which is pretty easy to almost always do. We probably don't need this Chalice, would be my guess. So I think I'm going to end up discarding the Chalice. Because what we want to do here... We could either use Karis, but I think I'm going to save Karis. I think instead we're going to activate Bearbrum. And we'll get rid of Nerval. And we'll get rid of the Chalice, because I want the Revolt. And we're not going to have to use Bearbrum's second effect, because we already have the Revolt in hand. And then we'll summon a Nerval, then we can use Nerval's effect to summon another Link monster. I think we're just going to summon Farragut. And we don't want to summon the Karis here with the Farragut effect, because we want enough spaces on the field to actually be able to use our Revolt on his turn. So we'll save Farragut for next turn, and we're just going to make Appaloosa. And the more monsters you can put into your Appaloosa, the better, because she gets 800 attack for each one. And then she spends 800 attack to negate an effect. So usually we make her with 3. and I don't want to activate that effect. We'll go ahead and put down our Revolt. And so now we got a pretty nice board, right? We can negate 3 monster effects. Ideally, this would probably be an Ancient Warriors instead of a Farragut, but I haven't made Ancient Warriors yet. But we can also interrupt his plays with Revolt here. What the heck is he playing? Skyscraper? I don't think we care about that. We might get rid of the Skyscraper if he doesn't do anything cool, but yeah, I'll just kind of explain what I'm doing. In his end phase, we're just going to activate Revolt because he didn't really make a crazy play. So unless he has a hand trap that can stop us, he's probably going to lose this turn. So we're just going to banish his monster. He can only do this on his turn. Yeah, during his main phase. So he can't summon anything to protect himself unless he has a card in his hand. We'll summon Shureg. This is why Shureg is so good. Because Shureg will just banish something. And we summon him on his turn because Shureg's banish effect is once per turn. So we'll activate Shureg. And then we also want to do this on his turn because it lets us use Nerval and Kit's effect on his turn. I guess, yeah, we'll use Kit one more time. At a certain point, you don't want to use Kit anymore, but you can chain block your Nerval with Kit. So I like to at least set that up, as long as I still have cards in my deck that I can burn. And then Nerval here, I guess we just search Kit. That's fine. And then Shureg is going to banish his monster, which was just, what was it, Clay Golem? Is that what that guy's called? We actually drew a Fractal. We have all kinds of plays here. Honestly, we probably just go Kit. We just Kit, summon Doom Eagle. Who do we want to banish? Nerval. It's good to banish Kit, Nerval, and then maybe Bearbrum if we need another Revolt. Because when they go back to your graveyard is when you get their effects. So we'll summon Doom Eagle here. And then we can just banish his Skyscraper, because now we special summoned again on our turn. And then, really, we just summon Access Code and win. This is pretty over. If he has a monster effect, we just negate it with Appaloosa, so it doesn't really matter what he does here. And this is why Tri-Brigades are so good. We don't need to use Kit's effect again. So we'll just cancel that. And we don't need to use Farragut to special summon one of these, so we'll just go Shureg, and then Access Code, and win pretty easily. So you can see why I think you should make Appaloosa an Access Code just in this duel. In other scenarios, just the Shureg and the Access Code can be lethal, which is nice. You don't really have an option. Like if we only had Appaloosa and Shureg, we don't really have a way to get lethal without the Access Code. So that's why I like making the Access Code. And the Appaloosa just really is your only turn 1 play. Otherwise, you just don't have anything you can do turn 1 that like will interrupt them except for Revolt. So like none of your monsters are really that protected if you don't have an Appaloosa. So I would recommend both of those things, Access Code, Appaloosa. And we didn't really show off Zeus this duel, but Zeus comes into play when you don't draw your Tri-Brigades or your Tri-Brigade combos get negated. Then you can go for Zeus, and maybe we'll show off how you get Zeus out of the Zodiacs in the future. But anyways, yeah, I think that's going to do it for this daily ranked. We did not destroy any cards because we just banished all of his stuff. So these ones that are like activate spell cards, activate trap cards, honestly, I usually don't finish them in one day. It gives you as many days as you need to finish them. So hopefully that might come into play. But like a lot of people aren't putting up enough of a fight against me for me to do these things. Like I can't really destroy 5 cards in one duel unless, well, Zeus doesn't count as destroying. So like unless I were to lightning storm an entire back row, I don't have a way to destroy that many cards, because usually I'm winning turn 3 or turn 4, just depending on if I went first or second. So, but yeah, that is gonna do it for this one. We'll grab our rewards here, and I think we'll be back tomorrow with the other reason why I like this deck is it does all of these challenges. So it's good to have a deck that can do multiple of these challenges. The thing it does the worst is destroy monsters, because we just banish everything. But it can do all of these things: activate effects in graveyard, summon monsters from the graveyard, remove cards from play with the banishing, activate trap cards, activate spell cards, special summon monsters, obviously going to be the easiest for most decks. Just summon a monster, and then playing ranked duels. That's why I've been liking this deck for ranked, because it lets me do all those things, work towards those challenges. And since there isn't a whole lot of way to earn gems now, that's kind of what you're looking to do while we wait and see if they're going to unlock more ranks for us to grind through, or if they're going to make some of these event duels open where we can maybe do, or maybe get some gems, or maybe even more solo content, because I got through all that already. And you can see I'm already more than halfway through the duel pass, and I haven't really been grinding it that hard. So I'm sure I'll be done with that in no time at all, probably with lots of days left on this one. So that's kind of where I'm at with this game right now. I'm going to play it a little bit each day. Maybe we'll change up our deck along the way as we get more materials to craft more cards. And I'm trying to pick what next deck I should start to work on. If you saw my list of decks, I've started building Virtual World. My Virtual World is bad because the extra deck is not good, because it requires specific things. Like, you see I have Zeus in here, which it can make, but a lot of this stuff is just random garbage because I don't have the cards. They're either super rares or ultra rares. So I just threw in what I did have, and I don't have True King of Calamities, which is kind of this deck's like ace card. But other than that, I have the full core done, and you can see I have a lot of the same cards that I was using in my Tri-Brigade, just because they're good general cards. The rares are easy to craft, so I would recommend, if you don't have all the super good staples, like all the Ash Blossoms, all the Called by the Grave, all the Infinite Impermanence, all the Max C's, then you fill it out with some of these cards that are pretty good rares. And then that's what I did with some of the extra deck, just like craftable rares. There's some archetype cards in here, but there's still some rarer cards that I need. The other deck that you might see here is Sky Strikers. Sky Strikers, again, I have the full core done. The extra deck is okay. What was I missing? I don't think there's that much I'm missing in Sky Strikers, except more of the staples, like maybe a Nibiru or something. That could definitely help make the deck a little bit better, but I'm not sure which ones I want to craft of that. So yeah, let me know what you think of this. If just doing 1 or 2 ranked duels a day is cool. If you want me to talk about what plays I'm doing, I'll probably always show off the deck we're using, even if it was the same deck we used last time. It'll probably just be this deck because I'm most familiar with this deck, and it's pretty good. It has most of what it needs. Some of the things could be changed out. Like, I would remove this Peacock that really I almost never used. I tried to use her one time just because I randomly pulled her, and I was like, all right, well, I'll use it because the deck can summon it. It's just not that useful because the thing that you steal can't actually attack. So I would definitely replace this with an Ancient Warriors. If you don't know what Ancient Warriors is, that's not right. Did I spell? That's how you spell ancient. Where is it? Oh, because I don't own it. I'm an idiot. Forgot. If you want to search for cards you don't own, you gotta click that right there. And right here, this card's really good because you can quick effect just return something back to their hand by sending something you control or have in your hand to the graveyard. So not only does it synergize with Tri-Brigade, but it's really good to have that set up next to Appaloosa, because if your opponent summons something that you can't negate with Appaloosa, like a continuous spell or even just a monster being on the field that's not going to activate, but it's going to link summon into something else, then you can quickly spin it back to their hand. So this is a card that I also might recommend. Maybe the 4 cards you might want to make are Zeus, Appaloosa, Access Code, and Ancient Warriors if you're making this deck. And then obviously all your other staples. But Tenki, very important to make because you need it for Fractal. And that's pretty much it. If you're pulling from the Tri-Brigade deck, you'll work on getting your Sure Eggs, and you'll get all this other stuff along the way, or you can craft it. None of the main deck cards are rare, except for Tenki. So, yeah, that's pretty much it. Let me know what you want me to do. Again, I can't make quick changes like build an entire deck or something, but I can make gradual changes, work on a new deck. You saw that I have 6,000 gems right now, and I'm kind of saving them. I'm trying to decide what I want to start working on next, because the decks that I have the core done. So I can either work on the core of another deck or maybe find a secret pack that has some really good staples in it. So that's where I'm at right now. I will pick what to work on and go with that slowly over time, because I think people are going to rush through this game too quickly and be done with it. So I'm trying to find a way to extend my time with the game, because I think it's really good, and I think they have a lot of new stuff coming, like the event duels, and probably new ranks after Platinum and stuff that will keep it interesting for a while. But anyways, that's going to do it for this one. Hopefully you enjoyed. Probably more Yu-Gi-Oh! In the next days. Let me know what you want to see, and I will see you next time.